Welcome back. This is now segment 5 of Super Bowl 101. And the Kansas City Chiefs have arrived at the stadium. They just arrived a little while ago. We are about an hour and 30, or we are about 2 hours and 7 minutes away from kickoff. So kickoff is slowly approaching. And this segment, we are going to have uh, some. Uh, some of the greatest Super Bowl records of all time, and I'll get to those in just a moment. But right now, here is the Super Bowl 101 trivia question for segment 5. What player holds the record for the most career rushing yards in Super Bowl games? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Here are some, now as I mentioned, some legendary Super Bowl records. And my first one is Ricky Sanders, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. And that was back in Super Bowl 22. The first of 3 players in the game to appear on the list, Sanders kickstarted Washington's second quarter explosion with an 80-yard score. Uh, he finished the day with 9 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns, not counting a pass from Ronald Reagan at the White House. And that was one of that was some memorable Super Bowl records that Sanders set back in Super Bowl 22. Number 2, the second one I have is Tom Brady, who was the QB for the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 42. But now is also now just retired from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady set 9 Super Bowl records in this game, including becoming the first to throw for more than 500 yards in the big game. And those were some cherished records in that Super Bowl, and they will never be forgotten. Brady set, and those 9 were unbelievable records that Tom Brady set back in Super Bowl 42. My next one is Brett Favre, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, when he was in Super Bowl 31. Favre was excellent in his only Super Bowl victory, throwing for 246 yards and 2 touchdowns, running for another, He also did not make any mistakes at all in that Super Bowl. He was downright perfect in that Super Bowl and could not be stopped. And that was one of the most memorable records in Super Bowl history. And that will never be forgotten. But I have one more, and this one happened to be number 1 on the list. That's my last one. Jerry Rice, the wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 23 when they played the Cincinnati Bengals. Rice caught 11 passes for a Super Bowl record, 215 yards, and scored a touchdown. He also made a clutch first down when the 49ers forced a 2nd and 20 on their legendary 92-yard winning drive. Truly unforgettable. And that is why this record moment, a historical moment, I should say, is number 1 on the list. And there were a lot of great records set back in the history of the Super Bowl, and they will never be forgotten. And right now, the Eagles and Chiefs are at Glendale Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Yeah, they are at State Farm Stadium there, and they're gearing up and getting ready for the big game. But this I just said by far. I'll say it again. I feel this is going to be one of the best Super Bowls ever, and a lot of fun to watch. And a lot of people, millions of people are going to be watching it, and hopefully it's going to be Rihanna will be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show tonight. Excuse me. And I just want to add that hopefully the halftime show will be a great halftime show, and I just want to also just make a note that Mahomes, despite his high sprained ankle, will be playing, and Jalen Hurts he will be playing as well. And as I mentioned before, we have two Cleveland Heights, Ohio natives representing Cleveland, Ohio in the Super Bowl, the Kelsey brothers. Jason Kelce of the Philadelphia Eagles and his brother Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. Both those guys will represent Cleveland, Ohio in the Super Bowl since the Browns did not make it this year. Uh, and But I do feel this is going to be one of the best Super Bowls ever, and I do feel that uh, that we will have this will be one that no one I think is ever going to forget. This could be well a memorable one as well. And uh, and I just feel this is going to be one of those games where anything can happen, and it's going to be close. And uh, and I do feel that this will be a heck of a game, one memorable game, and because this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be memorable. And I do feel that, and before I go any further, it's time now to reveal the answer to today's uh, the Super Bowl trivia question for segment five. What player holds the record for the most rushing yards in Super Bowl games? And if you said Steelers, great. Franco Harris, you are correct. And if you said Franco Harris, you are correct. Uh, Franco Harris had 354 yards, total yards, uh, with the Steelers in Super Bowl 9, 10, and 13, and Super Bowl 14 as well. And I will have another trivia question coming up in my next segment, in my final segment, as I will give my what to watch for in this game. I will give you what to watch for. And as I will give you what to watch for, and I feel no matter what happens, Travis and Jason are in the big game, and either one will be a winner, no matter what happens. And Donna Kels will be a winner, and she is, and Donna's sons, well, both of his sons will be winners as well. And I think she's either Jason Kels' wife or Travis Kels' wife. And they are suiting up as we speak. Both teams are suiting up, and they are both really getting ready for this game. And Donna Kelsey's wearing a jacket with both Chiefs and Eagles on it. And her sons are wearing some great outfits as well that have Eagles colors and Chiefs colors in them. And I think that's great. So that's really going to be a lot of fun to see this Super Bowl. This is going to be one of the most memorable Super Bowls ever, and a lot of fun to watch. Uh, well, coming up in my final segment number 6, I will give you what to watch for in Super Bowl 57 between the Chiefs and Eagles, and I will also give you what you've been waiting for, my Super Bowl pick. So you will get all that in my final segment coming up. So stay tuned. I'll be back with more Super Bowl 101 right after this. Stick around.